Hey there everyone, how's everybody doing? This is JJ Wilson here, and for this particular video I'm gonna start looking at the Golden Kamuy series, the manga version, and I've been following it, off and on for the past year and a half, like ever since the first season came about, and I'm talking about the anime, and also season 2 of the anime series, and so I've just been looking at the manga over the course of the year, and one of the chapters, chapter 222, is a pretty good rundown of basically what happened between that period of time and the events leading up to the break-in of Abashiri prison, which is where Asira's father is, Noborabo. Well, unfortunately, he got killed, and for those that follow, we all know who killed him. It was Ogata. But anyway, two big things happened in that particular chapter. This isn't going to be a review per se, but this is just going to be like a overview of sorts of basically the few events that happened between the prison outbreak and going up to chapter 222. But the reason I want to focus on 222 is two big revelations. Really one, but two of them happened. And first I want to look at basically the rundown of what's been going on through the words of Ogata, since now that he has crawled back into the Golden Kamuy world from his unfortunate predicament with Aspira. Sorry, I said her name wrong. Asirpa. But yeah, I want to get started with that portion of the chapter first, because that's going to help me out breaking down what happened in between the prison outbreak and the group's adventures in Karafuto Island, which is basically modern-day Sakhalin Oblast in the country of Russia. Alright, so let's pick this up right here. Okay, so on chapter 222, page 10, on Golden Kamuy, what you're seeing here, this is the hideout of Hijikata Toshizo, and he's one of the antagonists in the story. He still has ambitions of recreating the Ezo Republic, which is like a separate government from the Japanese government. So he still has ambitions to do that once he gets his hands on the gold, if he can. And so he's added a few more allies into his group. One of his allies is the former prison guard for the Abashiri prison. His name is Karakura. He has gray hair with the black hair still black or whatever. And this Anui guy, I forget his name. He's part of that group, and the big judo guy, the guy that does judo, Ushiyama, I think his name is. He's standing behind Shinpachi, which is the bald dude. He's like the right-hand man of Hijikata. He's also a swordsman just like him. And look what we have here. It's Ogata. Ogata managed to find these guys back in Hokkaido, and now he's with them. So I tell you, man, Ogata, he has come back from the dead like more than on one occasion. We're gonna have to start calling him Ogata the Immortal. We're gonna have to start calling him that, just like Sugimoto. So now he's with Hijikata's group, and Hijikata's asking him, what have you been doing in Abashiri up until this point? What's been going on with you since you decided to come back all of a sudden? So on page 13, Ogata begins to tell his tale of what's going on. So this is why I'm covering this. So in his own words, he says, that night, in the middle of all the chaos, Asirpa, she was able to find out that Noborabo was indeed her father. However, Noborabo and Sugimoto were both hit by stray gunfire, when in actuality we all know it was him that shot at Sugimoto, and he also killed Noborabo. And so as everybody ran off in different directions, Kyoranke took Asirpa with him and fled. And once I found those guys, once I tracked them down, I decided to go along with them. So that's what happened. So like I showed you earlier, this is Karafuto Island, or the southern part of the Sakhalin Island. That's Karafuto, and the northern part belonged to Russians up until like World War II. and after World War II, the Japanese had to surrender that island back to the Russians. So now today, Russia has all that island. But at this point in the early 1900s, half the island belongs to Japan. So continuing on, Ogata says, we crossed over to Karafuto so that we could bring a Sirpa to meet a female convict named Sophia. So this is the person that Kyoranke wanted her to meet. And Sophia, it was a one-time companion of Kyoranke, who his Tartar name, which is his real ethnicity. His name was Yobars, I guess his Russian name, and also Wilk, who is Sirpa's father. So she was like the third part of that revolutionary group or whatever. Now she didn't travel with Wilk and Yobars to St. Petersburg. They went over there to try to assassinate the emperor, and they almost succeeded, but then they had to go on the run. And then I think this is at some point that's when they met Sophia, and then Sophia kind of got to understand where Wilk's ideals as far as like making a federation for the indigenous people of Hokkaido and Sakhalin Island is concerned. So they wanted to make that their own federation, own country, to keep their cultures from being eradicated. So she traveled with those guys, and this is her back in the day that I'm showing you here, and this is what she looked like prior to meeting Kyoranke and the rest of the group. That's what she looks like now. So yeah, she had been in prison after she separated from Wilk and Kyoranke, and she had been there for several years now, and that's what she looked like. So yeah, she got heavier and uglier as a result. So going back to Ogata's description of what's been going down, he said Kyoranke hoped that Sophia might be able to help a Sirpa remember the key to solving the tattoo code. And at that point, this is where Sugimoto had caught up to us. So yeah, Sugimoto, yeah, so but prior to that, he goes on to say Kyoranke was killed, and then a Sirpa, was taken from us. So yeah, Kyoranke did die in just outside Karafuto Island when they went to Akko prison, which is this building right here. It's not there anymore. It's like in this small town in Russia today on Sakhalin Island. So, but I think it's been torn down. That used to be a very, very infamous prison where there was a lot of cruelty and death going on in that place. So it was kind of lucky for Sophia to get out of there. But yeah, Kyoranke, let me show you how Kyoranke got killed. This happened in chapter 186. And so at some point, let me tell you guys how Sugimoto got to Karafuto. So he had to make a deal with Tsurumi to go up there to bring a Sirpa back. So in order to do that, he brought two of his subordinates along, Tsukishima and Kotio, which is the dark-skinned dude from Kyushu Island, I believe. So yeah, he brought those two to kind of spy and make sure that Sugimoto did his duty by trying to get the girl back. And there was one more guy that went with them, Genjiro Tanigaki. Tanigaki went there too. And so at some point, Tanigaki got separated from Sugimoto, and then when they were trying to go through that ice drift, Kyoranke and Sophia and Ogata, along with the girl, they tried to cross over from Sakhalin Island to get to the mainland part of Russia by traveling on this ice bridge or whatever that was frozen over the sea. So that's where they tried to go. But at some point, the weather got so bad they separated, and this is where Tanigaki bumped into Kyoranke, and then they started fighting. Show you some pictures of that. Yeah, so yeah, it got pretty nasty, man. Tanigaki was getting hit in the head over some ice, and he finally remembers his boo in Karamat. See her down there, and then Kyoranke thought he had beat Tanigaki, and then he comes to find out he got stabbed. He actually got stabbed by Tanigaki, and you think he died right there, right? No, he didn't. He didn't die from that. He actually died. Give me a second here. before that, Kotio and Tsukishima were trying to find Tanigaki and Sugimoto, but then they stepped into some kind of trap set up by Kiraranke. And Tsukishima got hurt. He was bleeding from the neck, but it wasn't enough to kill him. But Kotio managed to save him from getting blasted. And then as Kiraranke got away from Tanigaki, who was still lying on the ground bleeding in the face, that's where he fought Kotio. And then they got into a fight. And then Kotio, he ends up stabbing him in the neck. And then Tanigaki reunites with Tsukishima, and both those two, they gunned down Kiraranke. And that's how Kiraranke got killed. And you know, we got this scene here with Aspira. They find once they all get together, you know, she actually before that, let me tell you how they all met back, like Shirashi and Sugimoto and Ogata. Hang on a sec, guys. So yeah, as the groups got separated, Ogata managed to get Asirpa on his own, and he was trying to get her to remember the code. And at that point, she finally kind of remembered what the code was about, and Ogata was trying to get her to say it and tell him where it was, and that's when Sugimoto found Ogata, right? But before that time, he was taunting her to say, hey, you need to kill me. Go ahead and kill me. You know, you and I aren't that much different. Go ahead, and if you got what it takes, go ahead and kill me if you don't want to tell me the code. And she had some poison inside of the arrow. It was like in little petals and whatnot. And she accidentally shoots Ogata as Sugimoto came behind him, and he was screaming his name and stuff. And he got hit in the eye. And that's why you see, like in chapter 222, he's got his eye bandaged, so he lost his eye. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, man. Ogata is the immortal. Even though he probably would have died if not for Sugimoto, he had to spit that poison out of his eye. It's pretty nasty stuff, and that's how he got saved. No thanks to him. And you see Asirpa reunite with Sugimoto. That's when Asirpa met back with Kiraranke. You know, they kind of had their last words, and there's a little somber moment there. And he said he glad the journey that they took wasn't meaningless, so that way she kind of remembers part of the code to find out where that treasure is, the gold. So yeah, that's how Kiraranke was killed. And then Ogata said, yeah, as you can see, this is how I got injured. This is how I lost my right eye. And so Hijikata's group members asking him a couple questions and all that stuff. And so Ogata continues on. There were 2 souvenirs I managed to get from Karafuto. So he was saying there were 2 things I learned during my journey. So yeah, he talked about Sophia before, and Ogata predicts that she is going to go to Hokkaido to go find Asirpa and take her with her in order to find the gold. So you got another adversary in this tale that's going to be a formidable force to come. And Ogata goes on to say then he tells him about the key to solving the tattoo code from Asirpa's memories. And as it stands now, the way Ogata was saying, like, there are two groups that have the majority of the tattooed skins, the Hijikata group and the Tsurumi group. And let's take a look at the amount of skins that these guys have, the amount of copies, real quick. So starting with Hijikata, he's got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, a total of 9 tattoos, copy tattoos. Tsurumi, let's check him out. Tsurumi has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. A total of 14 copies of the tattoo skins. So overall there's 24. And Sugimoto, as they went back to Hokkaido from Karafuto, after when they met Tsurumi back in Karafuto, they pretended like they were going to give Asirpa back to Tsurumi, but then they kind of tricked him, and then him and Shiraishi and Asirpa, they managed to get away from those guys, and now they're back in Hokkaido as a threesome. but they only have 2 copies of the skins out of 24. So yeah, they got the least amount. But everybody, the one person that has all the tattoo skins, they'll be able to find out where the treasure is. So as long as they have a few copies, then you know the chase is on. Okay, so that part I showed you guys, that was the very end of chapter 222. Now the beginning of chapter 222, this was the crazy part of the chapter for me, or the story so far. Like this was really big, man. And this is where Tsurumi comes back into the fold. But before that, we see in Karamat, and she's telling the fortune of Kotio, who's resting from his injuries back on Karafuto Island. But this is in Hokkaido. I'm not sure exactly where in Hokkaido, but they're resting in some kind of hospital. So yeah, she's telling his fortune and all that. The teeth, I guess it bounced off her head and hit dude in the face, Kotio in the face. And she's saying, Mr. Kotio, your fortune is good luck today. So lucky him. And so as Kotio was fortunate enough to hear that news, he's asking in Karamat to check on Tsukishima's fortune. And so she does that with the teeth. She does the same thing. She's saying, Sergeant Tsukishima, your fortune today is bad luck. You should try avoid going outside as much as possible. And Tsukishima, he doesn't really care about that. And so we cut back to Tanigaki, and he's like, yeah, I'm a Matagi. Yeah, that's right, I rep my set. I saw that, I was like, yep, man, he letting those dudes know. And so he's meeting back with Tsurumi. It's like, hey, he told him flat out, man, I'm out of here, I'm leaving this group. I'm doing my own thing. And so Tsurumi had to let him know, Inkarma isn't an Abashiri anymore. She was moved somewhere else. And then Tanagaki's like, okay, what do you mean by that? Are you going to try to kill her if I decide to leave out of the group? And Tsurumi's like, oh, no, absolutely not. There's no way you will make me do something that terrible. Right, Tanigaki Gendro? You see the look on his face? Yo, it's getting crazy. It's getting real right there, man. It's getting real right there. And so Tanigaki pretty much tells him, look, I don't want no trouble. I don't need no drama. I don't give a damn about this gold shit. I just want to live a simple life. One that suits for me. I'm trying to retire. You know, I mean, is that such a bad thing for me? To just want to live an ordinary life? And then, you know, a couple of his cronies, you know, they were talking down on Tanigaki, saying, man, you know you can't do that. You're not an ordinary man. All these guys that died on behalf of Japan, on behalf of the Japanese government, you know, they can never live normal lives again. But here you are talking about you want to live a normal life. Who do you think you are? And then Tanigaki goes on to say, whether you got a hostage or not, I'm not going to be of much use to you. All I'm going to do is lower the morale of your men just by being here. And then Tsurumi, he interjects and he's saying, well, knowing her in Karamat, she'll be able to escape on her own once she recovers. I'm sure that's the little rosy image you have inside your head, but I don't think it's going to be that easy. And then Tanigaki demands, what did you do in Karamat? And then he finally tells the confession, and dude, when I saw this, I was like, dang. Maybe for the hardcore Golden Kamuy fans, you might have predicted this, but yes, she is indeed pregnant. Dang. Wow, Tanigaki knocked her up. Wow. Dang. And Tanigaki's like, my child. And then here's the deal. This is the deal Tsurumi makes. He says, if you bring Asirpa back to me, I promise to not only release you, but I'll release her too. I'll release Karamat. Your duty in the first place was to bring Asirpa back to her grandmother, right? If you manage to accomplish this, then everything will be nice and still, now won't it? Did you give up on that? And then he gives him this gun. I guess it's his own personal gun. And so he's asking Tanigaki to assassinate Sugimoto. Just so he could save his woman. This is wild, man. So he's saying, Tanigaki, I'm certain you, of all people, can get close to Sugimoto Saichi without putting him on guard. Man. Wow. Yo, this is really crazy, man. I really hope Tanigaki doesn't do it. If Tanigaki is the one that kills Sugimoto, this will probably be one of the greatest surprises and revelations in recent memory for me. Like, just reading on manga, like, dang, whoa. Yeah, that's the surprise I wanted to share with you guys after I read this particular chapter and trying to keep up with the manga. This is crazy. It's not as crazy to hear Karma get pregnant, but it's crazy that now Tsurumi wants Tanigaki to betray Sugimoto by killing him, just so he can free Karma and save the life of his future baby. Wow. So yeah, what do you guys think about that? I know that's gonna make for a lot of drama in the coming chapters ahead, man. Because there's like 4 more skins left to go before they can find out the location of that treasure that Asirapa's dad left behind. So yeah, let me know your thoughts there, guys, and I will check you all later. I let this analysis drag on for too long, but that chapter right there was crazy, absolutely mind blowing. But anyway, y'all take care. See ya.